I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. A judge upholds a convicted rapist's sentence. 27-year-old James McDevitt will return to prison to serve the remainder of his 40-year sentence for the 2013 rape of a Flagler Beach woman. McDevitt is eligible for release after serving 28 years, at which time he'll be 55 years old. At the time of the rape, McDevitt was 21. Police say the 38-year-old victim had just gotten into a fight with her boyfriend when she encountered McDevitt, and he raped her in an empty lot on 12th Street. A minister on his porch across the street witnessed the rape and called 911. McDevitt, who has a learning disability, had tried to argue that he had ineffective counsel who promised him a lesser sentence. But at the hearing, it came out that McDevitt had rejected a 10-year plea offer because he thought he was innocent. His two previous attorneys denied claims that they never explained to McDevitt why he should take the plea deal or that he could face life in prison.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport, Delta Airlines nonstop to Atlanta, and now nonstop service to New York City via American Airlines.
Flagler County's former supervisor of elections appeals her 8 felony convictions. Tony Magoo has more.
Kimberly Weeks was convicted in the spring of 2018 on 7 felony counts of illegally recording telephone conversations with state and local public officials. She also pled guilty for recording a private individual in November of that year. For 14 months, Weeks and her attorney worked on her appeal of her conviction. A judge in that case, Circuit Judge Margaret Hudson, sentenced Weeks to 30 days in jail with 18 months of probation, but stayed the sentence pending her appeal. That initial brief was filed at the 5th District Court of Appeals on June 28th. The state hasn't yet answered the brief. On Tuesday, it got an extension to do so. Weeks was the Flagler County Supervisor of Elections from 2008 until her resignation in early 2015. A grand jury indicted her that May. If Weeks' conviction is upheld, she would also lose her state pension. The case is now more than 4 years old. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
A terminated Flagler County Sheriff's deputy learns the result of his appeal. Rich Petchke reports.
According to the Sheriff's Office, Deputy Robert Finn was terminated in 2018 because he did not take action to stop a wrong-way driver on the Interstate 95 off-ramp at Palm Coast Parkway. That driver was then involved in a fatal collision. The department's Chief of Staff, Mark Strobridge, says Finn's appeal went to an arbitrator as required by the Coastal Florida Police Benevolent Association's collective bargaining agreement.
The arbitrator found that the discipline was too severe and reinstated the individual. Our collective bargaining agreement is something that is reviewed, signed, and is contractual. With binding arbitration, we have to follow that. As far as we're concerned, this matter is closed. Deputy Finn will be returning to work and receive some additional training and go back out on the job.
Chief Strobridge says Deputy Finn will be assigned to the Community Policing Division. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Rich Petchke.
How did the Flagler County School District achieve an A rating?
Superintendent Jim Tager says it took everybody.
We are an A district because of our students, our families, our faculty, our staff. Our school board has put us in a good direction. Our district and school administrators, and mostly, I would say, our community. I've never worked in a place where the community cares about the schools.
Tager points to the EMT flagship, which graduated 11 students with their certificates as a model of community involvement with students. He also says that he and Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley work closely with the Law and Justice flagship. You can hear the entire interview on the Free for All Friday podcast. You can find that at the Flagler Radio app. Download the Flagler Radio app today. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.